Well, unfortunately, the bad news just doesn't stop for the Chicago Bulls as they have announced that Ayo Dosunmu will not be reevaluated or ramp up for yet another week. Me and Bobby going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We got Bobby in the building today. Update on some real quick news, man. Ayo Dosunmu, bro. Like he had, it was announced about a week ago that he was going to be out for a week. They were going to reevaluate him. Apparently, that reevaluation did not go good because now they're going to wait another week before they even look at ramping him up. So Ayo Dosunmu was going to miss at least another week. How you feeling, Bobby?
Man, after being high all weekend off Derrick Rose, and that night that we had for him, we come and hear this. You know what I'm saying? But the Bulls attempted to try to ramp him up a little bit, and the soreness came back. So you kind of expected with the calf that you want to be precautioned with it. So I gotta respect it and at least be like, okay, we still got some season left. It's not the end all be all. Hey, get healthy, young fella. Get healthy.
Yeah, that's really what it's about, especially with the calf. Calf injuries can turn into Achilles strains or injuries, and then that's where you start getting into a place where it gets a lot more scary. So they don't want to risk it turning into anything else, and that's a smart play with it. You don't want to risk that when you don't have to. And the Bulls, listen, the one thing that we got is we got guards, right? And not all of them bring the same intensity defensively that Ayo Dosunmu has. We understand that. I do think we had Ayo in that game against the Wizards. He would have probably slow down Jordan Poole a little bit to where we probably could have won that game. But you're just going to have to weather the storm. Coby White, Josh Giddey, they're starting to find their rhythm better together. I went over that today on the daily episode. Their numbers are starting to look really good when they're out there on the court together. So they're going to have time to kind of keep finding that chemistry. The one benefit about Ayo Dosunmu in his game is that he can really fit in next to anybody. And that's what we saw all season. He's played three different positions, started three different positions for the Bulls so far this season. So once he is healthy, he's going to be fine. He's going to be able to acclimate to his role. It just sucks not seeing him out there, man.
Exactly, and I already know. And I got to bring up this point of what we was talking about on Derrick Rose night. I know Ayo Dosunmu wanted to be on that damn court.
That's a fact.
Just to honor one of his own, especially, you know what I'm saying? This is who we looked up to in those moments. But again, Ayo Dosunmu is somebody that we miss. But again, to your point where I was going to go right after you was the Coby White and the Josh Giddey stuff. I think that opportunity that's going to be available to these players, Coby White and Josh Giddey, gotta figure it out. They have been doing so, but obviously we want to be a little bit more consistent with it. And we got the Wizards coming up later this week. We got to get our get back, but we got to take care of business with these next two teams first.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got business to take care of. We got to focus this season. We're 35 games in to a season where we're supposed to see a 35 game evaluation. So the Bulls, if they're going to do anything, they've had their time to evaluate, but overall, like we still got enough of what we're still trying to figure out on this roster to where, yeah, you're gonna miss Ayo. Make no mistake about it. Nobody replicates and replaces exactly what Ayo Dosunmu brings to this team, but there's still more than enough players to weather the storm. You got to have the next man up mentality. The season was supposed to be about development and evaluation. Now you just have to have somebody else step up and show what they can bring.
For real. Hopefully it'll be Montes Buzelis. Look, I understand the politics that's going on right now with Torrey Craig and all those other fellas, but please, I want to see more Montes Buzelis selfishly, and I can admit that. I want to see the young fella receive an opportunity. Now, granted, he has to continue to earn those minutes, but Billy Donovan also has to allow him to make mistakes. So we'll see. We'll see who takes advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. And so we'll see how it continues to develop and grow. And overall, like, it sucks not having Ayo out there. And Ayo is somebody who I trust that Ayo wants to compete. He wants to be out there probably more than anybody else. And I know it's probably killing him to your point. You started this off with not being out there for Derrick Rose night. Best believe he's going to make sure he's out there next year when we retire his jersey. He ain't going to miss it 2 times in a row, man. But yeah, you just don't want to risk that turn into Achilles thing. Because if it turns into something with the Achilles, that's a whole different ballpark that you just don't even want to risk being in. So
yes, and you don't want to take away one of Ayo Dosunmu's superpower, and that's get it up and down the court in a blur. There's literally an engine revving behind him as he's running down the court, doing what he does. And that's why we got to move with some caution, because you don't want an Achilles injury to come into play. So just take your time with it and make sure the young fella is as healthy as can be so he can return to basketball and be who he is.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, I got you real quick. I know we touched on it a little bit. I want to throw this to you, man. How are you feeling about Kobe and Josh Giddey over the last 5 games? They've both been playing really well over the last 5 games, finding their chemistry. How you feeling about it?
I think they've been playing well. I think Josh Giddey, he has to continue to take advantage inside the paint with this driving ability. And he also has to continue to show some consistency on the defensive side. He said that he told Billy Donovan he's going to go step up to the challenge. So we want to see him establish some consistency. We're not asking him to go be an all defensive NBA player. We just want him to show effort every single night. I think that is a key for him. And with Kobe White, I've been calling for the man to attack the basket a little bit more, just to take the pressure off of the high volume of 3-point shots, so he can at least see some baskets fall in for him. So then you start to build that confidence. One thing I don't want is his confidence to be shot. So you just got to go ahead and continue to attack the basket and just pick and choose his spots. I like what I've been seeing out of him. I hope he can continue, because it was a rough start for him. A rough start.
Very, very rough. And it's starting to smooth out. His drives have gone up almost 7 drives per game. So he's not settling as much for 3-point shots anymore. And I think that's going to be a key thing to really unlocking Kobe. And it's not him and Josh Giddey's, like Giddey's averaging almost 14, 10, and 7 in those same games. So they're finding a way to be productive together. And I think that's really what you want to look at. If they can keep refining that and be productive out there together on the basketball court, it's going to be better for the Chicago Bulls for sure.
For sure. And I will add, the players need to give the ball to these guys with a little bit more time on the clock. So please, stop wasting it out and saying, hey, Kobe, go ahead and shoot the bomb. No, let's get it corrected. Let's make sure he got enough time to operate.
I wouldn't be mad if Kobe passed him the ball right back. Like, don't give it to me with 2 seconds left. Y'all ain't gonna keep killing my turnover and shooting percentages. Like, because that's what they do. They dribble around, they pass it around for goddamn 18 seconds out the shot clock, and then they throw it to Kobe. Like, all right, Kobe, work. And it's like, what do you want me to do?
It's too late, Zach LaVine. You done backed him down already, bro. What we doing? Shoot the shot.
Well, man, I thank you for tuning in and checking in with me, Bobby, man. But we just wanted to give this quick update in regards to Ayo Dosunmu's injury. It sucks. But as the Bulls turn, I mean, because it's one thing after another. We've dealt with injuries all season long. So
for sure, definitely.
Well, y'all make sure y'all go over there and support Bobby and C-Dub over at the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, where they'll have the best live call in the business. I'll be back with the pregame show here in about 10 minutes, so make sure you guys stay in tune with us on that one. You can follow us at Bull Central Pod. Send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.
Peace.